Welcome back for more with NC Sports Weekly News, where the water sports season never stops. So here's the lineup. The Magnificent Seven of the Volvo Ocean Race now rest in Cape Town. Full recap of all Leg 1 arrivals. Plus, Senior Correspondent Sebastien Destremau has a quick chat with Mikael Rydberg, winner of the virtual Regatta VOR, and then takes you to the Caribbean island of Guadaloupe for the arrival of the Route du Rhum and another maxi win for the legendary Loick Peyron. Half a century of sports tradition celebrated in Peru for the sensational ISA World Surfing Games. In Maui, Thomas Traversa and Iballa Moreno are crowned new PWA World Champions. Jimmy Spithill, Martine, Grael, and Kahena Kunze take home the 2014 ISAF Sailor of the Year Awards in Palma de Mallorca. NC Sports, plunge into the action. And now for the latest Volvo Ocean Race update. Leg 1 came to its conclusion last Friday with the arrival of all 7 teams after sailing for over 6,500 nautical miles whilst crisscrossing the North and South Atlantic Oceans from Spain's Alicante to Cape Town, South Africa. On Wednesday, offshore sailing fans all over the world were captivated by the heart-stopping duel between Abu Dhabi and Dongfang on the very last stretch to the finish line. It was a grueling finale after 25 days at sea, with the Emirati team just barely holding back a relentless French-Chinese squad, and with Ian Walker crossing just 12 minutes ahead of Charles Caudrelier. Translating into a clear sports success, this new one-design edition of the VOR has offered one close regatta and has also placed huge demands on the crews. Skippers and especially tacticians definitely felt the pressure as the fleet remained in close formation for most of this very first leg. Holland's Brunel team, captained by veteran Boe Becking at the time, was just 45 nautical miles behind the leading duo and would close a mere 4.5 hours later with a crucial third-place finish. The very last team to sign up for this campaign with just 6 weeks of preparation before the start, Vestas Wind was perhaps the biggest surprise. Led by veteran skipper Chris Nicholson, second with camper at the last VOR, the young Danish crew learned very quickly and after 26 days and just minutes, secured an important 4th place here in Cape Town. The Turkish Americans on Alvimedica comfortably held on to a more than respectable 5th place, crossing the line in 26 days and 13 hours, in what amounts to yet another success for a late entry. As Charlie Andright's team also had very few weeks to prepare for this monumental race. The last duel was simply a matter of pride. Packing a stellar crew, the ladies of Team SCA had underperformed throughout this first leg and trailed at the back of the fleet, but Sam Davies got the most out of her crew on the very last effort. On Mapfre, veterans Iker Martinez, Xavi Fernandez, and not even the Professor Michel Desjoyaux could stop their final rush, as the Spanish team was overtaken just a handful of miles from the finish line. Get the full official coverage of this spectacular Volvo Ocean Race premiering every Sunday at 9 p.m. only on Nautical Channel. And now, with 110,000 players, the online race is a massive success on virtual regatta. Senior Correspondent Sebastien Destremau had a chat with Leg 1 winner Mikael Rydberg from Sweden. Sebastien also reports on Loick Peyron's amazing victory at the Route du Rhum.
Okay, so Michael, first, a massive congratulations to you. You must be over the moon to have won the first leg of the Volvo Ocean Race. Tell us about how you feel.
I feel very, very happy. It was so exciting and it was a very thrilling end of the race. I was so nervous.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
Yes. I didn't know if I was the winner until just the end.
Really? Yeah, because the other boat were catching up on you a little bit towards the end.
Yes, it was a weaker winds in front of me, so they're catching up all the time.
Thank you very much and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Loick Peyron at the helm of the maxi trimaran Banque Populaire 7 dominates the Route du Rhum and wins the mythical race in Pointe-à-Pitre, improving the race record by 2 hours. You're watching the Sailing Updates Desktop News. Welcome to the office. At 54, this is the 7th attempt of Loick, the legend, the skipper who has won pretty much everything in his career, never managed to win the Rhum on scratch.
It's a very nice one because only 2 months ago I was not even contemplating a victory.
Enlisted only 2 months ago to replace Armel Leclerc, who injured his hand, Loick is lucky to have a boat perfectly prepared by Team Banque Populaire. Very cautious at the start, Loick takes the early lead and starts a rather rock and roll crossing of the Bay of Biscay.
The first couple of days we had to go absolutely flat out in a boat-breaking sea state, and that was nicely done.
On the third day, and following the advice of its routers, Marcel Van Triest and Armel Leclerc, Loick puts the pedal to the metal. Sailing at full pace and taking a lot of risk, Banque Populaire manages to avoid a wind hole while his opponents are getting trapped. As he reaches the halfway point, Loick has made the break and takes a 200 nautical miles lead over his pursuers. The boat is now on course to victory and Loick has just to manage the second half of the race very carefully.
The conditions are not too bad. We are in the trade winds, sailing downwind in the direction of Guadaloupe. If all goes well, we will arrive between Sunday and Monday. We are leading for now and hope to keep it that way.
Banque Populaire's route is magnificent and the skipper is very aware that he must be keeping the boat in one piece and the triumph will be his.
There's still a lot of maneuvering to do. The finish will be at night and the wind will ease. Before that, we will cross a kind of minefield off of La Désirade Island.
When turning around the main island, the speed goes from 30 knots to 0. Loick is trapped by the wind shadow of the volcano. A soft spot that lasts a couple of agonizing hours and could shatter his chances of beating the record. However, it won't last for long and nothing can now stop the beautiful flight of the big blue bird in this Atlantic Express crossing. Just after midnight in Guadaloupe, Loick crosses the finish line in Pointe-à-Pitre, improving the outright race record by 2 hours.
Once I have accepted this mission, I had to do everything I could to be at the level of what Armel would have done.
Hats off, Loick.
Host Team Perù defeated Team Australia on the powerful Pacific Ocean swells of Punta Rocas by just 62 points over the weekend to win the International Surfing Association 50th Anniversary Games in front of thousands of cheering fans. 22 national teams met up for this very special occasion to celebrate half a century of dedicated ISA work for the promotion and development of surfing all over the globe. Eduardo Arena, the legendary first ISA president in 1964, was also present at this year's historic celebration. Today, spearheaded by the creative vision and the tenacity of newly re-elected ISA president Fernando Aguirre, the ISA continues to deliver a dense world-class yearly calendar of events with a unique multicultural message. 2 to 3 meter waves made for a spectacular last day as Analí Gomez conquered a very tight women's final with a 12.86, securing the gold for Team Perú. Ecuador's Dominique Barona was not far behind, taking silver with a 12.53. just like Philippa Anderson in bronze at 12.50 for Australia. The Aussie men were instead stopped in their tracks by Leandro Suna, taking the gold for Argentina thanks to a huge 8.90 and then another 9.63. In final results, Team Perú sealed its gold medal performance, followed by Australia with the silver, Argentina in bronze, and in closing Costa Rica with a copper medal for fourth-place finishers, another hallmark of ISA competitions. For complete and extended coverage of these Claro ISA 50th Anniversary World Surfing Games in Peru, catch up with the next edition of the NC Sports Top Story, premiering this Saturday at 5 p.m., only on Nautical Channel. Pukipa Beach once again delivered mast-high waves and perfect conditions last week for the PWA Wave World Cup Aloha Classic in Maui, the last event of this 2014 season for the wave discipline. The ladies' crown was once again contested between Spain's Moreno twins, and this time Iballa got to advance to the final while Daida was ousted in the double elimination heats and slipped out of the number 1 rank. Both sisters are true champions in their own right, however, and together they have dominated women's professional windsurfing since 1999 with 24 world titles. For her 2014 final, Iballa instead bet up and defeated 17-year-old rookie sensation Fiona Wild from the USA, competing in her very first international event.
I became world champion and my sister second, so I'm really stoked for this great result from both of us, and it was a very complete year and I'm really happy about it.
The men's wave competition in Hawaii was clearly a much tighter affair, with 4 athletes in the points for the 2014 crown. Francis Tomas Traversa, Spain's Victor Fernandez, Brazilian Venezuelan Ricardo Campello, and Marcilio Brown, also from Brazil. Instead, another young American stole the show in Maui as 20-year-old Morgan Waro pushed back all 4 top-ranked riders for a spectacular victory at this year's Aloha Classic. A second-place finish would translate into the world title here, and Traversa did not waste the opportunity. Competing with an injury, the Frenchman ultimately pushed back Marcilio Brown in the double elimination final to secure the 2014 PWA Wave Championship.
And I'm the new world champion, obviously, so I'm happy.
Sailor of the Year award is James Spithill, Australia.
James Spithill among the gentlemen, together with Martine Grael and Kahena for the ladies, were crowned as the new World Sailors of the Year at the annual ISAF Award ceremony held last week in Palma de Mallorca. International Sailing Association's Federation members voted on a final roster of nominees that included many deserving top performers in a wide variety of classes. Spithill's award, perhaps, still comes as no surprise, as Oracle Racing's historic comeback to defend America's Cup 34 last year in San Francisco simply had no equals for any sport discipline and probably for years to come.
Most of the other nominees were individuals in the awards and how they were nominated, but honestly it couldn't be further from the truth for me. It really is a team effort. I mean, I'm nothing on my own in the game I play and heavily reliant on the guys around me, both on the water and off the water. So without them, I mean, there's just no way it would have happened.
The ladies' contest was indeed much tighter, so Brazil's super crew on the new 49er effects class, Grael and Kunze, had to contend this 2014 award against the 2 more world-class champions. Also from the Olympic circuit, Frances Charlene Picon was nominated for her RSX title, while veteran Steph Bridge of the UK was shortlisted for her PKRA Slalom World Crown.
I still didn't believe that we won it. It's really a really nice recognition of our entire year. We are really happy about it, and yeah, I think it just gives us more strength to go and do what we love to do with sailing.
I have no words. I was very nervous when I got to the stage, and well, this means a whole thing, a lot for us, and very honored.
Get the full front and backstage coverage of this year's ISAF Rolex Sailor of the Year Awards in Palma de Mallorca. So dress up for the NC Sports Buzz, premiering this Saturday at 5 p.m. Mark the calendar, the Nautique 2014 Paris' world-famous boat show is coming up from the 6th to the 14th of December. Be there with Nautical Channel. Stay tuned, boating fans, for special coverage with the latest releases in both sail and power, the novelties, and the latest trends. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.